taking with me out west for 8 months. I'll be hiking, snowboarding, and doing all the winter sports out west. So I'm going to be actually staying in the back of this pickup truck for a good 8 months for the winter. I'm going to see if I can try it out. So before I throw all my stuff in here and fill this up with all my junk, I've decided to show a video on how my setup is before I fill it up. So right here you can see that I have all these really cool Christmas lights. These are porch solar lights. So actually there's little solar panels that you can stick near the windows, and they only turn on when they're at night, so they conserve a lot of power. So that's why I had to face them down, and I had to dismount them from the window right here. I actually prop them right here, and then wherever I park, it catches the little solar lights. I never actually had any issues with running out of this power, because I only leave them on probably more than 1 hour, and then after that I probably head to sleep and stuff. So okay, so back to this. So I put reflective all the way through both windows, and that helps prevent the sun coming in, making this cabin a little bit hotter, or even keeps it a little bit more warm too. Reflective is not really an insulator, it's more of a reflective material, so do keep that in mind. It's not insulation, and it's not going to provide additional R value, but it'll I guess it's a multiplier of the R value or something like that. But anyways, let's get back to the setup. I built this little cabin here. It has a tabletop up top, so I can put drinks or something, or even my book, or just gadgets I could just throw up on here. And it has a little lip so things don't roll off when I'm driving. It's holding pretty well. This is all mobile. I can actually take this out, and that's what I did to paint this. Actually, I built everything, and then I took everything out and I started painting it. So you can see that's this baby blue color. It has these little cubbies. There's cubbies that go all the way throughout, and these cubbies allow you to store a little bit more knickknacks. I noticed when I was out in California, you end up accumulating a lot of knickknacks, where's the salt and pepper? So you always have the salt and pepper. You can just throw right in there. Even cups and stuff, you can just toss right in there too. So it's very convenient to have. And then also throw your cell phone in here and let it charge. And I noticed sometimes when you're boondocking, you have your keys, you have your wallet, you have your personal belongings that you carry every day. And sometimes if you leave it on the side of the bed, next morning later it's on the floor or in the corner somewhere. So being organized is more efficient, and it's going to make things a little bit more stress-free. You are living in a confined space, so when you do live in a confined space, you definitely want to utilize as much space as you can. To my setup, so this is that, and you can take this out. So later on, after I'm done with this project, I'm going to actually hopefully upgrade into my travel trailer that you saw earlier. It's my enclosed trailer that I had for my business, and I'm converting that into a tiny house eventually. But anyways, back to this. So yeah, so you can take this out, and then I put rugs on the bottom here to help insulate. A lot of people put hardwood floors. Not a really great idea. You want to at least have some R value. So I put 3 layers of rugs here. I just cut it out to shape. It was an old sectional rug that I had laying around, so I just cut it up. And I also put reflective between the layers, so hopefully with any heat I generated inside this cabin, it'll reflect and hopefully come back to me. And then also hopefully it reflects and push the cold air down. I noticed that when you're sleeping in the back of a pickup, there is literally an air cavity underneath the truck that can get you very cold, very sick. So you definitely want to keep a moisture barrier away from you, and that's one way of doing that. And then also, I built this bed frame. Before I used to have a cot. I started with a cot, and then after that I built a basic bed frame, and then now I built a storage slash bed frame. I noticed that I needed more storage, and I need the more convenient side of things. I used to have a bed frame where you can literally pull everything out, and it has a drawer that goes all the way out when you're at the back of the tailgate. I did not like that because when you're boondocking in the summer or in the winter, uh, sometimes you need to get something really quick, and then for order to do that, you need to open the back tailgate, and then you need to pull the drawer out, and then now you have to search through it. And when you're doing that in the parking lot, it's it's obvious, and you're more susceptible of being spotted. So I kept these cabinets like this, so then there's no pull-outs, and they're just like pretty much little boxes with covers over it. So this is one of them right here. This was actually filled up with my camping gear. So this is where my cooking gear, my silverware, my cups, my plates, my propane right here, and some like other little knickknacks here and there. So this one, I keep things a little bit easier to get to, because when I do have a mattress over here, I can just fold the mattress back or roll it up, and then I could just access my things here. This is actually really handy to have. And then, so that's one cubby. And then if I go further down here, there's another cubby here. So then this cubby here has two bigger compartments here. So I'm planning on keeping my clothes or extra additional sleeping gear right in here. Definitely going to keep my additional sleeping bag here, because I know the temperatures in the mountains, especially at 10,000 feet, it'll drop really cold. So I definitely want some things that are accessible very easily, so I don't have to open the tailgate, go in the snow, try to figure out what I need, and slide everything back in. It's all inside enclosed here, just like a little tiny house. So you're wondering what this board is. This board is actually goes along the back here. It blocks that additional window right here. So this is an actual insulation board. So it has an R value of I think 5. So I put that along this back here, so it's gonna keep my head nice and warm when I'm sleeping. And then there's additional cubbies here, and my solar is gonna be back in here. So it's gonna be easy accessible when I charge things. Sorry about that little wire. So I also put another board right here on the left side here, because that's the side that I'll be sleeping here. So I definitely want to keep a little bit more warm. Over here, it's gonna be a little bit tougher, but that's gonna be my cold side. Obviously, gonna have an open space. So yeah, that's that. Oh, and another thing is that this height allows me to actually, now you can't tell, but I can actually sit up and not bend over as much as a higher one. So I built this just right over the wheel well. There's a wheel well right here, and there's one right there for the rear axle. And I built this platform right above it, so then it allows me to actually sit up a little bit more comfortably, and give me a little bit more headroom too. Another great thing about this is that I put a railing on both sides of this. So there's a railing here, there's a railing here, and there's a railing here. This allows me to put another board here. When I put another board here, it's going to allow me to have additional living space. So right now, if I really wanted to, I can actually set this up so I can easily cook, make hot cocoa, do things in that nature. And it's pretty easy, accessible. You can just throw the board right up here. These boards are going to be actually stored along the side here, or underneath my mattress, so whenever I need it, I could just pull it right out. So it's very convenient. I did have several sizes, so I do have 3 boards that go along this whole side right here. The reason that I didn't have one long board is that, see, like right now, I can actually like sit here, cook food, and still have my feet hanging here, and not sitting like this. If I had that long board going across, I'd be like sitting like this, and it would not be comfortable at all. So I put the smaller board right here, so it's more like a tabletop, additional counter space that I need. So this board is great because you can throw it pretty much anywhere. So I can even keep it on my right side, and actually have another size board like that too. I'm actually in a rush right now. I'm actually leaving tomorrow, so that's why these weren't painted. It was a little last minute, but I figured, the painting is just for a little, like a style, you could say. But practicality, you don't really need to, but it's good to have something painted, especially when you're out in the wilderness and exposed to the elements, and the moisture will get the wood a little funky. So I do recommend, if you have the time, try to paint as much as you can, or stain the surfaces that you have, especially if it's bare wood. But anyways, so I have two setups right here, so I feel like I'm like a little DJ, you know. So I can keep my, you know, my cooking stuff here, and then, you know, the things that I'm done cooking I can keep over here. So yeah, I want it a little bit more simpler, so this is the way to do it. So then, if I wanted to too, if I have any guests or family members or anyone that wants to, you know, sleep next to me, I guess, it's another extra platform that extends out. Have the other board. So this is another board that, this one's a little tighter. It does fit though. But anyways, yeah, so I could, you know, easily put a queen size bed back here now. But right now I only have a full size. Is this a full size? I think it's a twin size, but it becomes a full size, I should say. But yeah, it's gonna allow me to expand this more, so you have more sleeping space if you needed it. But I'm not really concerned about that. But I like these little ones here, so like I said, it's more convenient that way. Okay, so this is like a closer view of what I built on the platform. I put a piano hinge, so it just goes all the way along here, and I made some cuts here to make the separations for the doors. And then over here I have another section here where I can keep my valuables in here too. So that's that right there, that cubby. And then I have another cubby here. And then, you know, it actually goes underneath there too. So it's great. And then, you know, that's the other side right here, the other cabinetry. I got the insulation going all the way through. That's the back of my pickup truck in there. And I have insulation board going through here. I have reflective in this window right here. And I've made these little wires right here